For higher transfer certification, we have school site computer technician, classified transfer, agent advisor, classified, Joanne Campbell, Orleans to hire. TK first grade teacher certificated, 500, Orleans transfer, Gardner maintenance, classified as Robinson and Joe to hire. Spanish teacher. Professional classified working resignation, office assistant classified, high resignation, SDC teacher certificated, Trinity Valley retirement. We also had one staff teacher pull the resignation, so that was no action on it. And it was unanimous. Everybody was to accept all these positions of resignation. Okay, public employee item B, I have to report out. Item C, that's to report out, and item D, that's to report out. I'll make that motion. Make a motion.
All in favor of moving to the consent agenda? Opposed? Motion passes. Well, actually, so A action items. All years 2022, 2023, 4, 25. Proposal by the date and one announced.
I just went, so are these amounts that by the contract is $5 million there and so it's always increased by yes, they do. That's normal. This is normal, yes. I'll make the motion. Question.
Hey, Martha, are we going to talk about 11 consent agenda items?
We approved it.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the calendar. We could talk about calendar before you went in, so I thought I was going to talk about calendar now.
Because we need one more.
Yes. Make a motion to attach.
Make a motion to move it to. Okay. So I make a motion to move 11B from the consent agenda to and on the
Make a motion.
yeah. Who's second? All in favor?
Who seconded?
That's like. All in favor? Opposed?
Did we finish? We finished the. You did. Okay, I didn't hear us.
Ask for clarification, who made the motion on the approval our proposal? Who made that motion?
I did.
Okay, right, thank you.
And you seconded?
It was good, good,
I thought less than it.
that's good.
And opposed. Okay. So to all. All right. Or we need days which then if we need to change the word. Okay. There.
All second.
All in favor of moving check or meeting date?
He.
Opposed? No opposition, motion passed. Right of way and easement between private and joint private school district remains, okay. I have to make a correction to this to. It should be which part. It is the which part, but it is which part, but. Which next school part.
Requested by the chief judge. I asked them to pull that.
Why?
Table it for tonight. Table it. Because well, for one thing, there was a discrepancy with the names. I called and talked to, the gentleman who is proposing it, and it's a part of that Kirby deal that they're coming from Orleans to Wichita, and that there's some discrepancy. They're supposed to, where the Yurok tribe comes over and where the Group tribe stops, and there's issues with the Group tribe doing getting easements on the reservation. I think they can't do that without permission from the Yurok. And if there are those issues with the Kirby, I mean, it's not that nobody wants to go through, but an understanding also was that it's coming down 96 to Wichita, going down 169, and then it's going forward with Fall Hill. So when, you know, I don't know why, I don't understand why it's also going up the road to Wichita. Well, I don't think that it is. So I think that we just need to take our time, take some due diligence to find out what actually is.
Yeah, kind of, unless they're putting a tower on this.
Right, I mean, we don't even move that in.
What made them think that that's the group?
Yeah, what's that?
Say
Would that be, if the Group tribe asked, they just hired this gentleman, Michael Grossman,
Okay,
who is going out and getting easement, requesting easements from the people who he left.
okay.
So the school district is their own land, they are on the reservation, but they're not on the private reservation. And there are other parcels and people that would be there on the reservation, your reservation, and they are actively going out and acquiring easements from these people. And they want from the school district, but it's still not clear how they're ever going to get through over the Yurok reservation to get to these.
Because they're coming through with what,
They're coming through with broadband cable.
broadband cable, yeah.
Well, they're actually meeting up with the Euro Integration Program. And I mean, the two things are actually.
They're staying together, but yeah, so why did you try to check school on your organization?
Yeah.
And then we did find out what they actually intend to do up there. I don't believe that they have.
Lori, it just says that they're gonna be at the Orleans side.
I know that's a mistake.
Oh, it's headed by
The
mistake.
map is
State.
Yeah, you can see the map and it's, and I even got extra paper because I talked to this guy. And Tony O'Rourke has done surveying up there and then I got a little bit more information. But, the main thing is, I do believe that they need the Huron Tribes Commission to come across onto the Huron Reservation. And they're saying that they're gonna be using PG&E easements, but they can't use PG&E easements without the Huron Tribe.
I think we already have some MOUs in place with that.
They're trying, but they haven't completed their business with the Huron Tribe.
Okay.
So,
So you can take that.
We can make it, or we, it's okay. Stay with it. Policy there.
thank you.
If the approval to increase the median rate for travel to the current median rate for 2023, this will increase KTJUSD median rate by an additional $23 per day. There's discussion on it. I think that's very
Great, that.
Yes, so we have not had an increase to the, it's been a while, I can.
Do you have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Wait a second.
Yes.
Hearing no opposition, that motion passes. Well, Commissioner, our next, we order from the high school. CTE goal, $223,526,522.
Why, what's the problem with that?
That's what you think.
When they need more.
Okay, so, I can talk about that. So the change order, when the board originally approved the construction of the CPE building, there was a $250,000 contingency allowing for up to that amount for any change orders. In the process, the bid process, there was some addendums to that process for the original plans that included some of these change orders. And therefore, I'm sorry. Therefore, we had to put $150,000 that we started already approved. This is a formality that we will see that this is what we're up to with regards to that 250,000. It's a list of all the different changes. As far as the removal of existing decomposed, that was the earth that was moved, because remember when we started the CTE building, it was at a grander scale, and so therefore it has been scaled down, so they moved a lot of the dirt. So that was the change order with that. As far as the exterior water resistant drywall, they changed the drywall with due to mold, so it's increased to prevent mold. So that was one of the changes. And the other was the infrared edge to buildings, new exterior concrete structural curve. So again, based on the structure being downsized, there was some curves with the angles that they had to more cement it. So that's what that change order. I'm just being very vague, because I don't have the backup was in. I do have the documents in my office of what those change orders pertain, what it all involves.
I have a question.
Yes,
So we put this money aside,
yes,
Jeff, you,
yes.
and so it was kind of like, well, so keep that money aside just in case we're going to.
No, so when the bid, because I did some testing. I
But, so there was that contingency of the 250.
Right.
As you do run into change orders, there are cases that come up, and it got flooded out, to say, I'm just giving an example. There's things that come up,
That's
it can be a pole placement on the building. It is my. I was thinking all this week too. Never did that, I mean, it's my necklace, so. Okay, so. The added concrete to the trench street, again, that is something around the structural piece of it. Remember, we downsized in regards to that. The overhead door changes, they put tempered glass into the roll up, so they bolt that one up a little bit more. This is my understanding. The bottle storage area, so that's a big change. And what that pertains to is that this building was the wood shop. We included welding, we included auto shop, we put those classrooms within the building so that we become a more robust CT building. The bottle storage originally was not approved by DSA, so that side of the building. So, so the bottle storage was not approved by DSA in the previous plans. The bottle storage was a requirement for our welding shop. It was then given back to BSA for their approval of a different structure of fencing, which came up to the 82,000. So they had to resubmit that for approval of the state. You know, it was the fire line routing, that was the conduit. Our building, when they did the conduit under the ground, we had to actually pay a company, and I think we completely looked at it, you can attest to this. They weren't able to find the original water lines. There was the fire alarm lines, so we had to pay to extend that conduit out into the building. So that was a part of the change order. The auto lift changes, that one was, I think they had to increase the load, get a bigger lift. I can definitely double check into that one. The electrical and fire alarms, again, those were add-ons. So that was so that we could have the fire alarms out in that. I don't think the original plans had everything that's involved with putting them our Viacom system into those. Again, the conduit and just what it takes to have, I guess, that alarm system. Again, we'll have to go double check into all of this. The doors are the changes to that. Again, it was a change to the law as far as it's safety issues in regards to our door handles. The shop equipment and tool price increase when you look at it. So therefore, that's what we is that's a good order. We did have a welding reduction, that was a savings. Obviously, I'm not sure what the detail of the $1,500 is. The air gas welding and Norton steel management, that was part of when they put the actual welding equipment, so it's one piece of the equipment that doesn't pertain to the actual supplies that's going on that we're requesting to order. And that's what adds up to the 246. And I do have every one of these change orders, and I think you guys did have questions, and we are still within our projected cost. We're well within like 6.4 million projected, we're at 5.2 right now. So we're still well within the original the information we provided to the board when we started this. We're still in really good shape. So again, this is the formality that they provide a change order, as we call it change order. These change orders have happening, and we are probably 2 weeks out from our original date of August 4th moving in. And right now we have some issues with
electric panels, it's trying to get pieces of our building, and we're unable to do that because of shortages and just workforce issues out there in the world right now. So we'll push that, plus we had a lot of the weather, and I will honestly say that even when it was snowing and freezing, that we did have crews there. They were there every day, for the most part. I out with their whole team, but they had somebody there working at all times. I've never not seen them not there. So it's not for lack of milk, we're calling it a day of milk. They definitely have to get this building up, and they're really pushing to have us in that building. They'll be doing punch list probably through September 1st, but the building will be complete.
But is it gonna be smaller than what they're going to do?
Yes, based on what we're able to,
That will be the cost also.
it did considerably, it wasn't $11 million.
So do you guys have handicap access to that?
Yes, they will. Absolutely. I wish I would have added to that, I uploaded it. I could have done 200 pages on it. She was. So, any other questions?
I think it's going well, I guess, straightforward folks, like I said, we had 8, 9, 11, 15, that I think, in my opinion, makes sense in this change order. Please clarify for me, Carney, all these other change orders, that's part of the business, when you supply a bid, you kind of have to take it. I see items 9, 8, 9, 11, and 13 being reasonable change orders based on the growth of the project. These other items, I look at it as to give you a bid, and now you're asking for.
So we did a base bid, when we did do addendums, so when they did bid, that price for the bid amount was within what they were bidding on. It gave, I don't know, that's fun.
Well, bottom line, can they eat this versus 8, 9, 13?
6 also that's the welding building.
They, excuse me,
The number 6, the bottle storage area, that's where the bottles for the welders.
That did, but so that needs to be, if we can table this and I can make the actual cover sheet
that'd be great.
that has the addendums for when it was in the bid package, but it was an addendum too, and there was an amount up to be able to spend. So when they did the base amount, those amounts were in addition to.
My issue is that when you say that it's a formality, because if they've already been doing this work, then really it's too late. That's what my issue. I saw several things on here that if this goes through state Department of Architects, who are very strict, I would have thought these were on the plan and should have been inappropriate.
It is.
And if they did it appropriately, then they would have to keep it. That gave said. I can understand the total change by adding the welding, the for number 6, number, and bottom number 13, but I don't understand the fire safe walls on the outside, on the exterior walls, because that should have been on the plan. I mean, and the fire line, I mean, there was a couple of line questions on too, but my issue is, I think that they should have come to us before the money was spent and before they started doing work. Because I understand it's a contingency for a certain amount, but we should have, when it comes up to $246,000, I think that we should have had a better look at what we were spending.
So in all fairness to the new board members, I probably should have brought you the original bid with those addendums and what they actually bid on, because these addendums they're identifying was part of that bid process. So I need to bring that to you because you don't have all the information. You didn't see the original bid package, the addendums as associated to it, that covers what these are.
Oh, exactly. And he said this is not enough information.
So, Marmy, I have a question.
Yeah.
In the bid, there's base bid, and there are addendums. Were these numbers already given to you in those addendums? And you said, go ahead with this because we have the money, go ahead with this because we have the money, because if that's the case, we've already approved all of
You
this.
did, yes, that's.
So this has already been approved in their bid packet.
Yes,
So they've given us the numbers. It's not in addition to what was given. I mean, it was not in addition to what was granted. They've already given us this information. So it's not new information. It's just that you chose to go ahead with these specific things.
yes.
Okay.
So how could it be defined as a change order?
Because that's what you would call, I mean, that's what it would be defined as. Or it could be defined as just billing you out for the addendum. So I kind of think this process of change order is not necessary for it to be on the agenda because it's confusing. They should not bill out as a change order. They should bill out as addendum. This is the addendum.
It was a recommendation from the architect so that it was transparent on as to what those addendums consisted of and these are the changes following.
But it
Right, and that's the confusion because it said change. And that's a totally different thing. And then that how
We could change that.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the it's under E 251.
The architect's change order.
I do make a motion to approve that.
I would second that.
Overall.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed?
Opposed.
Two opposed?
Yeah.
I have 1, 2, 3. Nothing remaining.
Yes.
Is it?
Just two areas.
I guess I saw the packet, so. I don't know if it's there, but I understand if you didn't see the packet, I guess it's a valid question.
Right.
They don't have information, so they're not gonna help in that bid.
Madam Chair, this is law.
Motion to. Till 10:30.
Move that we extend this meeting until 10:30.
All in favor?
Oh, no. I don't know.
No. Okay. So is it no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you said, yeah. June 6th, 2023.
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Motion second, I'm sorry.
Right.
Comment on the floor.
Oh, comments? Oh,
Or
here.
comments from the floor.
I just realized that each side, so and I did something to. They will forget.
Oh.
I would change my motion to Orleans Elementary School.
District.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
I would change my motion to District 83.
I still second.
It's the same.
So
All in favor?
I be.
Oh. Seeing none. That motion passes. Approval to adopt GPA math curriculum and vision mathematics common core published by Thomas Learning and taught 119,081 88. I have a. Hi. So, okay, so when we first started this adoption, I thought we were gonna pilot it and then pilot another one. But that doesn't seem to be the case because we're on a timeline, which I understand now. So in talking with Karen, I am willing to withdraw my note and give this one a shot if you're gonna do more PD, which we talked about. But in the future, I'd also like to explore another math program that I think might be more appealing to my geography of kids. Because if we're having an autism kid 100% in the classroom, I was talking to her about how some laid out the page is very confusing. And just myself in there, I'm finding it very challenging to use this curriculum, but I'm holding myself up to PD. But I talked to her about also maybe giving this one a shot for next year, full on, coming in, all materials, ready to pull with professional development and rolling it out like it should have been done this year. And also maybe in the future reserving right to pilot another one. Because the demographics is not going away.
I have a motion.
Sorry. Oh.
Of course, you know how I feel about this because I feel like if you guys are gonna go ahead and go with this math curriculum, it's gonna put our students behind, especially our upper grade students behind, and they're going to be not ready for high school. They changed curriculum in the last few years of they're not. Our impact the report says that our reading levels are low. There's a lot of reading, math in there, and they're not going to even know how to read it, let alone solve math problems. And I know if you guys are doing it, that's what you do. But I would like to say, you know, you need to look at this after the first, you know, put benchmarks there and see how it's working and see what people are going to use it. Because right now, I know in high school, they are not one math class that I have a granddaughter in. They started it, and if you like it, the class voted on it, and the teacher chose to use a different curriculum. So they're not using it. So if you're going to spend this kind of money on a curriculum that your teachers are not going to use, I don't know. I don't know where people get that kind of education to be able to spend that kind of money on something that's not going to help our students. I think that what I think of it for the primary students, new math, I'm saying that probably could work because they never did see math before. But from our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade to change streams right now when they're struggling right now, it's going to hurt them. And if we're going to supposedly, I think I heard at the last board meeting that we're going to have help come out and help us with this curriculum. How many times are they going to be out there? Are they just going to come through and walk through the class? And the teachers, you know, what kind of help are we going to get? And who's going to pay for that? I think if you pass this, you're buying something that is not in the best interest of our students. And that's the only way I can say it nicely. I can say it how I would like to say it, but it's not in the best interest of our students. This curriculum is flawed. With this kind of money, we could have whatever their teachers are working with right now, or maybe bar. I think someone said that some schools go to other schools and borrow, math. They're not that they change, they have all the books these schools hold, we bring it in as stores, because being taught right now. And with this kind of money, we could damn near have hired some tutors to come in and bring us up to grade level. And not waste these dollars. And not only that, with Indian policies and procedures, we never did see this, that it never came to us, so that you're approving that also, that we were ignored. And not only that, when I see this, process that we just had here for input on, where, you know, they want us to, the LCAT to say what school we're coming from. You know, when we fill out this assessment there, or needs assessments, I guess you might want to call. They want to know what side you come from when we put this in, but yet we chose someone that, and no offense to Mrs. Cole here, chose her for the needs to come down and choose a map for the biggest site in our district. Who didn't know where our students are. That's not thinking and looking out for the best interests of our children. And that I can't say it. I beg you guys not to approve it. Use these dollars to help our kids get up to grade level. And if you don't do it, then I'll do the best I can for our students. And if we want to see anger, what we talked about tonight, which was how discussed very poorly, defensive. This is Ms. Triple, I believe in how I believe, I think that if we're gonna send a bunch of our 7th, 8th graders over to high school that don't know how to read and don't know how to do math, and they're gonna be, but then we'll say, oh, we have a behavior problem. We're creating behavior problems when we lose our kids through the cracks. We're not looking out for the best interests of our kids if we spend this kind of money on curriculum that already one of our math teachers are not even using.
Karen, did you have a comment?
I do. We did review it at the IPP meeting. It was, I guess, poorly presented in January, but this last month we did review it, and we did ask that it not. We did not approve the purchase. The reasons being a lot of what Mom said. My reasoning also was I felt that we were backed into a corner. We were told that we had to pass this. We had to approve this so the district would not be getting a Williams Act, a violation. That shouldn't be put on Indian Policies and Procedures Task Force. There should have been a much better curriculum review given to the Indian Policies and Procedures. And I did share with Erica my views, my draft of what I believe the district should do with Indian Policies and Procedures Task Force to pass new curriculum. So we can address the things that Mother is saying, so we can address where curriculum may be working in one site, but is not the best choice for the largest site in this. We may be looking at something that some of the high school teachers are using, but not all of them. Did we talk to those high school teachers? How do they feel? How do the other teachers feel about it? decide the one that may not be using it for the class.
But this curriculum isn't a high school curriculum.
It is the same company.
It's the same company, but we are talking.
No, I know that. I know that. I am well aware of that. Yeah, what I'm saying is. I don't want to put a stamp on something because I'm forced to.
Let me try to de-escalate this conversation a little bit, Aaron. One of the, on behalf of this district, we apologize, because we clearly should have been piloted.
I want the process changed.
Sure, but let me finish with this, Mr. The problem is, we piloted one program, and we should have had at least two, so that we could, well, is this worthy or not? And not really, when we look at nights, that's truly what should have occurred. It did not occur. We recognize on this board that any policies and procedures shot this down. It was given the task, apologize for that task. It's not, it shouldn't have been offered even that. But the board, the most procedures shut it down. They wouldn't know. I was at that meeting.
And I just wanted the board to understand why we voted no. It is a stance that we have to take. If we are tasked with looking out for our Indian students, then this is what we have to do. We have to make a stand and say that you're asking us for our approval. You need to listen to what our recommendations are. Don't give me something as I walk in the door and say, I need your signature on this because we're voting tonight at the board meeting. That happens with a lot of site council plans. I don't want us to be a rubber stamp. What's the purpose? What's the point then? Why are we attending the meetings? Why is it just a pretty piece of paper, a pretty stamp that the district can say that, all our Indian parents have approved of this? No. The process has to change.
I just have a question.
Can I just make one quick statement, just because, I don't want to argue, and I don't want to be afraid of this. We can follow up on the teacher that, I'm the one who said that there was a teacher at the high school, that was my son, and she is in fact using the Envision curriculum, and she likes it very much. What she's not using the Envision curriculum for is algebra. But in her geometry class, she does use it. She has supplemental that she works with it also, but she is in fact going to use it on geometry.
So we're gonna say that you're happy to pay this amount of money.
No, I'm not that. I get your opinion on everyone else. I just wanted to correct that one fact that I did follow up and check. And it is being used at the high school level in at least that class, and I believe Karen's husband uses it in another math class. I think transition is important. I know she said that wasn't one of the major things, but I think that high school is difficult enough to transition from elementary school to high school. But if you can have the same sort of math in at least, one or two of your classes for some of the students, I think it makes the transition, it's got to make the transition more easier. And as far as the fact of saying that it's a violation of the Williams Act, so we have to pass this, I'm the one who brought that up, and that was not how I intended it to sound, and I apologize if you took it that way, because that was not my intent.
It was said several times.
Well, I said it once, and that was not my intent.
It was told it.
So, and that's all I want to say. But it's
I'm just curious to know why the policy procedures shot it down. I'm curious to know why.
Well, I was at that meeting and I used it, by the way, board member Matilda did. I thought it was very even with the votes and how who wanted it. I thought it was like a straight up tie, really. It was really even. There was some discussion on who was allowed to vote type of thing, but as far as the feeling in the room and the
pros and cons. And Karen, she was on most of the meetings, that it was really pretty.
Clarification, in the statement summary for the IEP meeting, is that I think you're talking? And that should have been I think it was the fire. It was this one.
Yeah, but it didn't count, the two, it didn't count, because I was there, and there were two other students that voted yes, I voted yes, and Robert R. Kinney voted yes. And I think there was somebody else voted yes, so it was very even.
It was close, but I
Yeah.
think it was like, comparing it was all over. I think it was for sure.
And not only that, on a earliest meeting. When I asked if it did policy procedure. Task force meeting voted it down, then you guys would go away, then the board would go with. I know. Is that what you stated at the? Did say that, but that's besides the point.
Well, yes, I accidentally.
So, you know,
Well, so the board is trying, well, and happy to take recommendations. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily make that our vote. So.
I would like to see the minutes from the meeting.
So I,
My understanding is. Yes, the IPP task force is an advisory committee, and yes, I understand that means that the board can authorize the purchase. But you need to understand also. That we're not going to be just rubber stamping. We're not going to be a rubber stamp.
Okay, right.
If we see something, we are going to say something.
and I guess actually, Jason back here, I didn't really understand how to ask.
Oh, I just wanted to know what
Why?
was the reason for Indian policies and procedures?
Did you just hear me what I said? What, I'm on that committee, did you hear what I just voiced? What I voiced in Orleans in the meeting before that, did you even hear that, to understand why?
Intently, I have two teachers that like the program that teach Native American students, and so I just wanted people to understand. Why.
So what I asked an elder in my community and for the district, because I have got relatives and friends, all my kids, I'm speaking up for our students. And I feel like the choice, I guess, and again, I said to Ms. Cole, and I know she must have worked very hard at it. You know, finding this curriculum. And why was it? We recognize to be part of, you know, I not like it's.
Can I answer you, Jason? Can I answer you, Jason? Why is because ACLU came in and said Indian parents are not being listened to or heard in this district.
We're gonna have.
So the community is asking this board to be a part more of what is happening. in this district. That's why we should be able to review curriculum and changes that happen in the rest of this.
They were asking for something else.
We have to move on. We have to move on.
That was a very good question.
so before we move on, I need some clarification. Do we have teachers refusing to use the curriculum that we've adopted and allowing for classes to vote on not utilizing that said curriculum? Is that happening?
To some degree.
That needs to be looked at. That needs to be addressed by the superintendent. Those teachers need to be held accountable for what they're teaching our students.
Right now, you have highly professional teachers. We're going to teach what we are going to teach. I strongly agree with Mrs. Mitchell I felt that strong when I went to the IPP meeting and I said no. Because I care about the first graders who couldn't even begin to focus on the reading that they have to do, the lack of independent work that they would be required to do, that I would be the one that was having to facilitate, you know, and I just couldn't do that. They had to be on task, talk a little, on task, talk a little, but with that curriculum, I felt like I was just gonna be wah, and, you know, and, 4, 6 problems per, you know, per unit, per lesson, you know, but then after I listened to Mr. Mattel, and I listened to Mr. Pace, I listened to Mrs. Cole, I listened to the concerns and the questions that the parents and committee and grandparents had, I feel like I'm gonna rescind my no to a yes concern. I said at the IPP meeting, I really hope that our principals would, well, for one thing, I, for one, and all of my peers are gonna jump in there. Hopefully, we're gonna have the online programs available to us, which we haven't had. There's so much we haven't had available to us. Not to mention, I didn't even get the teacher's edition until like April, February or something. So I will wholeheartedly, all my peers will wholeheartedly jump in and teach whatever curriculum you deem for us, but that there may be concerns. I'd like us to revisit, like Ms. Moon said, let's revisit this and let's monitor this closely. If some teachers in primary feel like we need a supplemental material, that our site councils and site principals would order that material for us. That's gonna, you know, in addition to using the materials provided. I want training. And then I'll come back to you next year and I'll let you know, I'll bring my peers with you. I feel like some of the voting was skewed. I feel like for me, I don't know what survey I took. There was a survey online for students, there was a survey online for community, and then somewhere online, I guess there was a survey for teachers. I hope I took the right survey. Maybe those 5 other teachers that was said that didn't vote, maybe they took the survey, one of the other surveys, and they thought they were taking the right survey. I don't know why. Because those 5 teachers were my peers, and I expect that they probably had a vote as well, but their vote was not heard. So I strongly support what the 2 ladies say and what happened at that meeting. I also took into account of my professionals, Mr. Payton, who said, you know, we're at a deadline. I want all teachers, it would be good that all teachers have a map in place come once. And that as a teacher, we're a year behind. I'm willing to have a math program in place once September. But please don't think that this is the end all of this question. I mean, we need to see more material.
Could I have a clarification on the deadline that we should use?
Okay, so letter. Our packet is actually
Madam Chair, something else. Yeah, the increase again. Second, we don't have to come under that.
Okay, let's, you feel comfortable taking the vote? Does everybody here feel comfortable taking a vote at this time? That's reading it is other, okay. So, I do have a motion. Do it check. I'll second.
Who made the motion?
Okay.
Karen.
All in favor to approve the TKA that curriculum adoption?
Who was it? I'm sorry.
I will.
Laura, go ahead.
I have a screen. You gotta look back. What's not a pretty. I wasn't actually, but she wasn't here. Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Approval of the CTE programs and fire requirements to approve the purchase of all the fire CTE program in our. 42,875
All right, we can,
We're gonna be the other money, and this still is in addition to the PPP voting. It was welding supplies, we served round gloves, the footwear, we had all the things that were. Sometimes we're using experts for the kids, out of the people that they need, like that. Ready, we're gonna go.
can I ask a question? I'm gonna go first.
Probably the best, this page.
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you. That's just one of the maybe less. The contract, here's the well, and already had supposed to be now about, and they've built some buildings for welding. Yes, they are.
And I will have to, get a conversation with Mr. Johnson, who's going to be running out here. And he looked over, he seen it, and he agrees with what he sees. But I think, Chair, I think that the maintenance department and Mr. Johnson need to be included in any future purchases of this generator. No disrespect to the contractor, they know. But you know, this is my career before I look at it and I have a pretty good too, but I look at this as a first wave, first tooling, if you will, or purchase tooling, and there will be more some for other purchases, or is this it? Because if this is stops here, I can't approve this. There's a lot of stuff.
Here, this is that's
First wave,
absolutely nothing.
right, so we're getting first wave.
First way, there'll be another opportunity. I mean, it will just be on, said you didn't have to. If you got this order, they see that one, you can be. You can put that word.
I didn't know the chair, all I asked is that anything from here on out, any violation for this job, I think. Mr. Johnson should be included in that, and I think this should too, because you know, this shop obviously serves a student, but this shop also is going to be an extension of maintenance too. You know, they're definitely going to use some of these tools. Awesome.
So, and also if I may, the architect and the contractor, there was nothing.
Yeah,
We have nothing, so it was, they came and said, hey, look, so this is what, in order.
To get it started.
And get started. You would like to be able to purchase outside of this contract, these specific things, so that your students can begin on the first day at start.
all I need to hear is the start.
Bill has full on what he needs. This doesn't have to worry about these things.
So it's all right, I can tell you, Mr. Johnson, look at this list of the. Yes, I think he did say this, I'm saying before, he needs to be included. Here on that.
But he did.
He did.
Okay, motion. I make a motion to CTE welding supplier.
Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, we're looking to dedicate the Fire Association to demonstrate.
So we had to do the audio.
Sorry, yes.
I'm sure it's very well be. That's very well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm here to continue this meeting that I want. Continue this meeting like on another day, continue this tonight. Oh, I'm not about continuing on another day. So.
You're gonna continue on with the.
Well, I, J, K, L, and M would have to be
Right.
moved to the next meeting.
But Martha, don't you need to address those things that had been put on? this agenda?
Yeah.
I mean, if it hadn't been put on the agenda, why would we?
Are that. Now.
What's the second? Who needs the second?
Okay, that's why this meeting is gonna be. Financial, statement, audit, financial, performance audit, or bill and then. For both 2021 and 2022 financial statement. Audit and 2021 and 2022 financial and performance audits for those. Motion to approve them.
I move that we approve, I don't know, 12.
Or second. Or I mean, let's get a second. All in favor of approving them? Both of them, or did you vote? They're the same thing. Okay. And how many people are?
Without discussion, is good for approving the audit without discussion.
No, we have discussion. Well, okay, discussion.
We have a motion and a second.
Yeah, no, so then I have discussion.
Yeah, that's years. Work.
Okay,
I did have someone discussion. But it seems to be.
How much money are you guys paying this Jack? I can come out and teach you guys to run a board meeting.
Right.
Pray that everybody-
Yeah.
I think he's overpaid.
Temperance.
Well, they're going way too late. My item is following. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. So this is our audit and this is an annual report that we have for district has to have. It's an independent auditing firm. They come to our district. They start in. Let's see, this is for 21-22. They start in the middle of the school year. May. This particular audit, because of the county treasurer's department, we were unable to start this audit. We started it actually in October. County treasurer, with the taxes, were able to provide us our cash flow, our statements in regard to our district staff. We then started back up with our audit in
and February, so we are full spring to complete our audit. What a lot of companies need back is what in fact it's you don't need to even your audit financial audit. Our first audit finding is to see what really matters, what it is that they found that they have been a weakness. And the district, we did not post our fair market value adjustment. Meaning, we did not post fair market adjustment. But we would have to put it into our budget. And then take it right back out. It's just in and out. So we didn't put that in our budget. So that was my reason. We are going to closely monitor that. It's actually on each and every one of the girls' screens, but that's one of the things. It's a small thing. Again, it's once a year that we have to remember that just became in the last 3 years that has to be within our budget. The other finding is the federal programs, the EXIT. So in order to purchase equipment, you have to. Okay. I'm sorry, 375. You have to request from the state to purchase equipment. It was during the graduations, we purchased some stages. The request was after the fact. We've also had other requests to the state for other equipment, and we've not received any answer back. So I have to give this is the third finding on the same page is our requirements for our pay rates statement. Whenever we contract with a contractor, they are supposed to we're supposed to have prevailing wage requirements, and we were not able to show that the contractor in question was providing their payroll documents to the Department of Industrial Relations, so we were unable to provide that until after our audit. So those requirements are majority with the maintenance and transportation directive to establish a procedure and guide on when we have contractors that are going to do business over the amount of $2,000. That is a requirement. It's not that we've never done them. It's just this particular contractor didn't provide us. They didn't provide us. They didn't provide it to us. It's in place.
Yes,
Procedure is in place.
we are going to actually do a procedure. It was in the but the procedure is needed. The other was the clean energy projects. That project started back in 2018. Page please, page 377. The final report was not done in time. It was not completed. This was prior to, we had a construction manager that started this project for property nights for our lighting. It was our HVAC systems that Captain John, we did develop modulars, district office modulars, Captain John, and Who Elementary. There was a final report, and the information at the district office was not available, so we had to do some digging, and we were able to find the backup information from the past contract manager that was not in a way but we were able to get that report. It was just late. That was the other finding. Another finding was our attendance and attendance studies. So this one was really big finding for us. And page 378, sorry, 379. The question costs associated with $524,700. What that was with the independent study, we had to do test requests at 3 sites, and
out of all of those testing sites, I was completely elementary, the high school and Trinity Valley. The everything that was reviewed, it was incomplete. Therefore, it may not have had signatures by the parents, it may not have a signature by the administrator, the work can not been attached. During the school year, though, we were in a whole karma situation where we were able to maintain the ADA with the previous student. Oh, okay, I don't know, but we were able to utilize that. And however, there was one thing that would have been implemented for the $524,734. We overstated our ADA, our attendance in regards to the work that was turned in.
How do you know, when we don't have teachers show up, and the parents can fix the home, and there's an accident there? How do you report that in any way? Or that's just an absence?
So if they're on independent study, they have
It's not, if they're not, it's not on anybody's thing, it's like, okay, we're gonna do about the days we're not gonna see our kids, you know, it's just gonna be chaos, and then they don't go to school. So how do you come, do you get money for those kids for not going to school?
it's an excuse that.
It is.
And that was it as far as those findings. Again, we'll be having some procedures put in place. Go out to Norton because they will form audit. It's present on the work back in session. And all your honors and your mind friends, because they get things so loud, it helps us get better. How we have to about processes and really function. And kind of balance stuff provide something, and this is how it has to be, and this is what happened. Go ahead, sorry.
It's okay, I just have a question.
Well, three starting to,
They might be 72, but it's
All right.
I have a question, then for its the bottom, on condition, the bottom sentence, in addition, the county school facilities fund had an overstatement of cash with fiscal agent of $1,200,000. That was that
fair market value.
format, so this made, because you didn't, because
Post it and then take it back out.
it made it look like there was $3,354,000 more than what we had.
No,
Okay, well, that's
It's-
that, statement of cash.
because we did put the fair market in, you have to put in. There is a website that we have to go to for the county, and the county provides what the fair market value is of our buildings. And so you have to put that in, I guess it would be an overstatement, because we did put in, it was worth this, but then.
That's worth more. It was more.
Yes. So that's what I think it's.
Chair, your time has expired.
You like to move that, right?
Motion was made by Tilly, second by Costa. Question was made.
Finish your answer. Okay, do you know what's the chin? Passes. That would be.
So Madam Chair, I'll take my adjourned this meeting. So, okay,
Okay. So, yeah.
should be adjourned.
And you should be. And it's hard to. Right out to all.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn this meeting.